Come on, I'm going to say it like the old folk. You say, we trying to get all of our ducks in a row before we move. And then after we moved, the ducks was in a row, but nothing happened. See, it's better to move on God's timing with your ducks out of line than to think you know more than God. And like it or not, we can sometimes allow what other people choose to do as well as what they choose to say. We can allow it to get us down. I'm just curious this morning. I'm just wondering, has anybody ever allowed something or somebody to get you down and it surprised you at how you got down so quickly about it? Anybody ever got down about something and it was if you couldn't believe that you was allowing this thing, this person to ruin your day, to cause you not to want to eat, to cause you not to want to enjoy the beautiful day that God had placed before you. And see, whether y'all want to admit it or not, there are times that we allow things and people to get us down. I'm talking about things you know people need to do, but you can't make them do it. But you're grieved by them not doing what is right. There are parents in here that have sleepless nights over grown children who refuse to change. Their behavior is a grief to you. When you see them, it gets you down to see them like that. To know that there's better in them, but by their own choices, they're doing things to hurt themselves. And while doing things to hurt themselves, they are hurting you. They're getting you down. See, there's somebody in here. You're letting the talk of people get you down. Come on. I said, you're letting the talk of people get you down. But see, you won't cut off the dog that's bringing you the bone. I hate to say it. You won't cut off the person. It's a contact that you have that keeps bringing you. What they're saying and what they're bringing is getting you down, but you won't. And sometimes, whether y'all believe this or not, there are things that can get you down that if you're not careful, it's as if this thing, every time it gets you down, it takes you lower. Somebody know what I'm talking about. It hurts you more and more. You know, it's like somebody done drove a knife in you. And didn't pull it out. That knife is in you, but you think you're getting over it, and then you'll feel some way. They'll do something, they'll say something, you'll see them in a condition, and it's like somebody's twisting the knife. But see, what we have to learn to do when we know things and people are getting us down, we got to learn how to bounce back. Come on. I said we got to learn how to recover. We got to learn how to shake ourselves. We got to learn how to revive ourselves. You got to learn how to talk to yourself when something is getting you down. You got to decide at that moment. Don't wait 6 hours. 6 hours may be too late. You got to decide right then. When it starts to get you down, that I'm not going to let this happen today. I'm not going to let this do me like this. Come on, somebody. I'm teaching good this morning. I talked about a long-lasting deliverance. You have to be able to have memories of being hurt by people when you were young come into your mind, but you got to decide that I refuse to allow what they did to me. I refuse to allow their own to cause me to continue to relive something that I've been delivered from. I've got to bounce back. I've got to I've got to revive oh, come on, I'm preaching right up in the house. You can let folks' choices get you down. Am I right about it? Notice in Genesis, let me deal with it, that Esau, if you know anything about Esau was a troubled child from what we call the get-go. Yeah, Esau was. You know, even the Bible says, and a lot of folk don't like it, the Bible says that Jacob, God said about Jacob, he said, Jacob I loved, but Esau have I hated. See, Esau was a wicked man. Esau was a man one time who was hungry. He was hungry. And his brother, Jacob, got Esau to sell him his birthright for a bowl of stew. See, this is how low down Esau was. Rather than depend on God for deliverance and for help, Esau despised his own inheritance and was willing to give it up for a bowl of soup. Esau was not just a troubled child, but a troubled man. That trouble is revealed at even 40 years old. He took as wives 2 Hittite women. It was important to Abraham when it came time for Isaac to marry. It was important to Abraham that Isaac married the right kind of woman. Oh, y'all quiet this morning. But see, again, Jacob shows that he did not care what his godly parents thought about his decisions. You know, sometimes you hear people say, well, you know, I don't care about what nobody think about me. That can be good, but that can be terrible. Because that can also suggest that when you need to listen to people, you won't listen because their opinion of you doesn't matter. I'm teaching this morning. But how many know we have to, in this life, value the opinions, the thoughts of certain people? If they have proved themselves to be good for you and to you, I'm not saying nobody's opinion as far as a man should ever weigh on us like God, but you have to recognize there are times when it comes to parents and leaders that they are connected to God and we hear God's voice. Come on, somebody. Sometimes child, sometimes young person, you hear the voice of God through your father. Come on. Sometimes married folk, we can hear the voice of God through our spouse. Isn't it amazing how some of us that married, we can talk all the time about how we hear the fool in our spouse, but can you hear the God in your spouse? But see, what I'm proving to us here is that Esau, being grown, he didn't care what God thought about his decision, and he didn't care what his parents thought. In other words, he didn't care how his choices affected others. And see, that is the epitome of a selfish person. I got to do it no matter what nobody thinks. I got to do it no matter who it hurts. You hear how quiet it is? And as powerful of a man as Isaac was, because you do have in the church sometimes people who always trying to put up this image that nothing ever gets them down. That's a lie. That's a lie. Come on, somebody. Where my honest saints at? Where my mature saints at? See how many honest folks I got out. There are times that we could allow something to get us down that we know has no business getting us down. You can allow something to affect you mentally that you know I shouldn't be allowing this to do this to me. But it is. I said, but it is. Woo! You'd be surprised at people who meet with folk to talk about their problems and pay money to constantly talk about people. Don't y'all get mad at me. Who not even in the room. That whatever you got going on with this person and telling them your business can in no way change what somebody decides to do who's not in your meeting. Did y'all hear that? Look at verse 35. And they were the wives. The decision of Esau were a grief of mine to Isaac and Rebekah. His decision to marry these pagan women got them down. It was a grief of mine. Let me give you 3 definitions of what it means when it says it was a grief of mine. Y'all hang in here. Number 1, it caused them to have a worrisome mind. And we know that worrying is not good. Come on, saint. It is not good to worry, listen to me, about nothing. No thing is worth worrying about. Listen, especially things that you cannot change. You remember even Jesus said, which of you by worrying can add 1 cubit to his stature? Which one of you by worrying can change something or make a situation better? And they didn't answer him because they knew worrying in and of itself will not make anything better. Therefore, Jesus came back and said, why do you worry?